What's going on, everybody? This is Pro Digital Gear. Today we're going to show you how to set up the Canon Pro 4100. Ours just landed today and is still in the box. So when I set up a printer, the first thing I do is set up the stand exactly where I want the printer inside the location. So if you want the printer in your office, well, you would first take the stand out of the box and set up the stand in your office. Or if you want the printer in your studio, well, then we would open up the box, take the stand out of the box, and set up the stand in the studio. Actually, as soon as you open the box for the Canon Pro 4100, all the stand parts should be right there on top for you. So we can take those out. Now, we're not actually going to set up the catch basket. We just want to set up the main supports for the 4100 stand. We have the right leg and the left leg. And then we have the main support joining the left leg and the right leg right here. And then in this right here, you should find all the hardware for the stand. This is all we're gonna need for right now. So this is all your hardware for the stand. It even comes with the right size Allen wrenches. These bolts and this wrench are for the legs and the support on the stand. And these bolts and this wrench will be used to fasten the printer to the stand and also set up the catch basket. All right, so first I'm gonna start by taking all the packaging off the legs and the main support. Now we can identify the left leg and the right leg here. They mark them right on the top. So next we could put the middle support bar in. This part will be on the top and this part will be on the bottom. All right, next we just put in the bolts. First one goes in right here on top of the support bar. And then we use our tool to tighten it down. And next one goes right underneath the support bar. Again, remember to tighten it down. And then we're just gonna do the same thing for the other side. So now the main parts of the stand are set up and the printer is ready to be put on the stand. Before we can take our printer out of the box, we want to make sure that we grab everything that we need for the printer. Power cable, instructions, inks, print head, some more instructions, and our sample media. We're going to need that to do the head alignment and nozzle checks. On this side of the box, we have more parts to our stand, our spindle adapters, and this tray that goes on the stand. And then we have the other side of our spindle and the rest of the inks right here. We have more parts to our stand and also this that goes to the catch basket. And then on this side too, we have the other part of our catch basket here as well. And then under here, we have another part to our stand. Now we can carefully remove our box top. You might want two people for this. It can kind of be a little tricky to do on your own. We can remove the styrofoam here. We can also remove the styrofoam on this side. And then right here, we have the rest of our catch basket. Okay, so next we can take the printer and put it on the stand. We recommend that you have at least 4 people helping you move the printer onto the stand. You might even want an extra person to look under the printer to make sure that the pegs on the stand line up with the slots on the printer. We can go ahead and attach the printer to the stand with these bolts. 6 bolts fasten the printer to the stand. 3 on the left leg and 3 on the right leg. You're gonna have to go under the printer mechanic style. A little tricky to find some of the areas where the bolts go in. Now we can remove all the protective styrofoam and tape from off the printer. Now before we remove this, we have to be very careful because this leads all the way to the belt that drives the head and it locks it in place. So first we can carefully wiggle this off our belt and hang on to this in case we need to move the printer in the future. Then we can go ahead and pull this part off of the printer. Canon also gives you a little nifty cleaning brush right here. We're gonna wanna hang on to this guy. Don't forget to remove all of the plastic tape, even on the side. Next, we can go ahead and prepare to put our print head in. We can start by removing this protective tape right here. Now this is attached to a safety bracket that's underneath the print head. Very carefully pull that out. And we're also going to want to save this in case we have to move our printer in the future. If we pull this blue tab right here, that'll open this up. And then pull right here, it'll open it up completely and we can remove this. So this is our print head here. We're going to want to cut right here with scissors. Now we can go ahead and remove the print head from the packaging. If you flip over to this side, we can go ahead and remove the tape here. But make sure to hold on to the print head while you're doing this one so that it doesn't fall out. When we lift this out of this plastic container, we need to be very careful because the nozzles of the print head will be exposed. There's the nozzles right there. We probably want to keep this pointing down. Now underneath these orange caps here are the dampers. So we can go ahead and remove these and put the print head in like this. As you can see, the connections back here, the nozzles are facing down and the dampers are in front. Carefully go ahead and drop that in. So the print head should drop in just like this. But it should sit right here, just like that. Now we can bring this part down and lock it in, and then this part back, and that should also click in. And that's it. Now the print head's in. So we're gonna go ahead and put together our printer spindle. These are the roll adapters, and they go on each end of the printer spindle. And this is the other end of the printer spindle. Our spindle should already be in the printer. So we'll go ahead and lift up this cover. And there's our spindle. Now we can go ahead and take the spindle off the printer. Now we can go ahead and slide on our roll adapter right here. This is the 2" to 3" core roll adapter. And then we're going to slide it all the way through to the other end. Now when you get to the other end of the spindle, take your thumbs like this and push it in. Then we'll put our other adapter on the other side and slide it down for now. Then we can put the other side of our spindle on, making sure that this is open. When it's closed like this, it locks this so that it stays on the printer spindle. Go ahead and slide it on, and then we'll put it right here for now and lock it down. Now we can do the same thing with our other adapter. It should lock in just like that. To remove it, push on these tabs and pushing the adapter down. Then we can go ahead and put our spindle back in the printer, making sure that the geared side is on the left side of the printer. Just like that. Now we can close both of our covers. Make sure that this one is completely locked in. And then we can close our top cover. The Canon Pro 4100 comes with starter inks, and there are 12 colors in this printer. You can go ahead and take the inks out of their packages. Let's go ahead and load in our inks on the left side first. Right here it tells you the order of the colors. To load in an ink, simply click this here, pull it forward a little bit, up, and then forward again. Then we could drop the ink in, having this towards the back of the printer. And then push this lever forward, and it should drop right down, and this should click right in. Then we can go ahead and do the same for the rest of the inks. Again, that goes towards the back, like so. To do the cyan. Takes a little bit of pressure to lock it in. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for the right side. Get our power plug and plug in our printer. Now we can go ahead and power up our printer for the first time. Let's go ahead and hold the power button. It's going to let us know that it's starting the system. We can go ahead and choose our language, our time zone. Go ahead and click OK. It lets us know what inks are installed. We can go ahead and click OK there. It's now going to ask us to select the paper on which we want to print. The printer is going to print a pattern on our media so that it can align the print head. Go ahead and click OK. And we're not going to use roll paper. We're going to use the paper that Canon provided with the printer. So we're going to click Manual. Then it's going to ask us to open the printer cover. Then it's going to ask us to lift up this lever. And on the menu, we'll see a change, and it's going to tell us to insert the paper. So we can go ahead and open up our paper that was supplied with the printer. Now, when you're pulling out your sheet of paper here, make sure you don't grab this thick stuff right here. That's just a cover to protect the paper that's in there. Another thing to be mindful of, the way the paper is with this label facing you, that is the correct side to print on. So let's go ahead and put this in. Now we need to align the edge of the paper with this orange line here, and we only want to go in as far as this orange line right here. And then you'll see the menu change. Now we're going to want to make sure that our paper is aligned on the orange line all the way down so that it's nice and straight, and again, keeping it aligned on the side. Once that's done, we can go ahead and lower this lever. And once that is done, we can go ahead and close the cover. Then our menu will ask us to select the paper that we want. We can see that it is a coated paper. It says HW coated HG. So back to our menu, we're going to scroll down and click on coated papers. And then we have the HW coated HG. Now the paper should begin feeding. If the paper is loaded correctly, you'll move on to a menu where you can select your connection to your computer. For now, we're not going to connect, so we're going to hit Do Not Connect. It's going to ask us to confirm. Now the printer is going to prepare the ink system. So while the ink is charging, let's go ahead and work on our catch basket. Right here we have the basket. We have these two pieces which go in the back of the printer, I believe. Then we have the basket arms right here. We'll use this hardware right here for the basket arms. I'm pretty sure these basket arms are universal. We're going to put screws in these two holes right here, and they go right through and hit the threads on the legs of the printer stand. I usually preload one here. Then you line up that screw with the thread, and then you should be able to just tighten it down. Again, same thing on the other side. Two screws go in here. There's a tiny notch here on both sides of this that fit in right here. Line up the screw with the thread on the stand. And that should go right on. Do the same for the screw in the back. And because of this notch, the thread should already be aligned. These guys go on the back of the stand. These look like the same screws that bolted the printer to the stand. You should have 3 more of those. We're going to use 2 for these right now. Then we can go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. All right, let's go ahead and unravel our basket. Now the end with the tassels is going to go in back. But before we do that, we're going to take this part right here and feed it through this opening right below those tassels. Now this whole section can go in the back, and this section stays in the front. This side clicks in right here, like so. Do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that we turn this little tab area so that it actually snaps in. In the back, this guy goes like this, it fits in right there. And then we have our little loop that goes around this, just like that. And then we can do the same thing for the other side. Don't forget to put the loop over just like that. Last but not least, we're going to use our final screw to attach this to our stand. There's some notches. It might be a little tricky to find, but it should fit right in. The screw threads right in the middle. This is really convenient. You could put your tools in here. These go on the arms of the printer basket. If you want the basket to come completely out and up, you would take this bar in the back off, come to the front, pull these forward all the way, and then up. And these go right here and act as a lock. While I'm finishing this setup, I think I'm going to leave these down. So I'm going to be sure to take these out. Put this push that all the way in. I'll put these in there. And then I'll go ahead and put my back bar on. And then that's it. Okay, now the printer is going to start printing the head alignment and make some adjustments. As you can see, the printer is printing out a pattern so that it can make all the necessary adjustments to get your 4100 up and running. Once that's done, we can go ahead and take the paper out. First, we'll go ahead and open up the printer cover. Then lift this. And then we can take the test print out. Going back over to our printer menu, we can see that the printer is asking us if we want to continue printing. We'll go ahead and click yes. Then we need to load in more paper. Go ahead and click load paper. Follow the same steps as before. We lift our lever. Carefully line up with the orange lines. Go ahead and close our lever. And then close the printer cover. Back to the menu. Again, choosing our paper, go to coated papers, and the HW coated HG. Then the printer is going to load the paper for the second test print. Once the next test print is all done, we can go ahead and remove that. Open the cover, lift our lever, and pull the print out. Go ahead and lock that lever in. Close the cover. Okay, at this point you should be ready to print. Why don't we go ahead and just quickly do a nozzle check. It should be all set, but might as well check it just to be on the safe side. Let's go to our maintenance menu and then nozzle check. Go ahead and click yes. Now we're gonna have to load paper. Click load paper. Again, following the same procedure. Open up the printer cover, lifting up that lever. And then we can go ahead and load in our coated paper. Again, we need to make sure that we align the paper correctly with the orange lines. Go ahead and lock that lever in. And close the top cover. Don't forget that we need to go down and click our paper type, the HW coated HG, and the printer will feed in the paper. The printer will then print out the nozzle check, and you'll have this nice pattern right here. Lifting up that lever, and there we go. Our nozzle pattern looks great, showing no breaks in the lines. Everything looks nice and clean. So now we can go ahead and start printing. We hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions about this printer, or if you'd like to purchase the Canon Pro 4100, please give the knowledgeable staff at Pro Digital Gear a call, 1-888-459-1482. Feel free to visit our website, prodigitalgear.com, or send us an email at sales@prodigitalgear.com. Thank you so much for watching.